finally a sunny day here for BGSU softball at Meserve Field in game 2 of 3 in this series between Bowling Green and Western Michigan. I'm Henry Costco, joined by my broadcast partner Kevin Hutchinson for this doubleheader here on a beautiful 50-degree day for softball here in Bowling Green. Bowling Green lost the first game on Friday by a score of 3-1. They've had some offensive struggles in this past, 3-4 games here, Kevin.
Yeah, it's been, first of all, happy to be here with you, Henry. But yeah, there have definitely been, some struggles scoring, that scoreless game against Northern Illinois. Just a hard time putting offensive plays together. And so the Falcons are going to look to put an end to that negative streak against WMU today.
Yeah, 11 hits across the entire NIU series. They did take 1 of 3 in that series, but it hasn't been much better to start off this series. Only 2 hits for the Falcons. Didn't do much for their starting pitcher, Mackenzie Krafchick, who had an awesome outing yesterday, 6 1/3 on 1 earned run. And although 9 hits allowed, she did have 2 strikeouts on top of that. But the story was Kaylee Salyer, Western Michigan starter, who had a fantastic outing, 7 innings pitched on 1 earned run, really kind of boosting a Western Michigan pitching staff that has needed that boost here in this part of the season.
Yeah, definitely. And Western Michigan, I mean, you look, they're a pretty strong team, bolstered by that pitching staff, and that's going to be a challenge for Bowling Green to overcome today.
Yeah, as we look towards the start of this game in about 10 minutes, we'll take you through your starting pitchers. It's going to be Morgan Beckham starting for Bowling Green. She's really been in the peak of her season, coming into her own as a freshman pitcher. Struggled against some tough competition early on in the season, but last couple outings have been fantastic. 6 innings on 2 earned runs in her first outing against NIU last week. Had 2/3 of a scoreless inning against Western on Friday. We're going to be looking for a lot more of that progression that we've seen from her all year, and I think things are really coming together at the right time for the freshman.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, earned run average 604 could be better, but definitely looking for Morgan Beckham to step up in this big spot today.
Yeah, looking at this Western Michigan offense that has kind of struggled towards the bottom of the MAC in a lot of offensive categories, but we've seen a lot of streaky players really looking and playing well at the top of this lineup. Peyton Kelly, the center fielder, senior, batting .300. She's been a staple of this Bronco team the 3 years that she has been here, coming over from Cal State Fullerton after her freshman year. And then Tristan Head and Riley Dittmar have been the 2 offensive weapons at this middle of the lineup that follow Kelly at the leadoff spot.
Yeah, and that's big for Western Michigan, having those 3 big hitters to lead off. I mean, you see Tristan Head, 5 homers on the season, 18 RBI. She's a strong hitter, good slugging percentage as well. So you're going to be looking for her to make an impact for the Broncos.
Yeah, it's a really deep offense for this Broncos team. You have Dittmar hitting .377. You go 6-7 down in this lineup, and they're still hitting up near .300. So kind of a similar story to Bowling Green for what we've seen from Western, a deep lineup that has had different players produce at different times. But BG missing Katie Hutter, one notable thing in the lineup today, didn't play on Friday, so it will be Taylor Barrett hitting at the leadoff spot. That has some big implications for the Falcons.
Yeah, that's a big absence, Katie Hutter. I mean, she's been solid throughout this season, and so not having her, it's the next man, next woman up mentality.
Yeah.
You got to have someone step into that role.
Yeah, we're going to see that. We see Scarlett Anderson in the lineup today, making up for that absence. And with those offensive troubles, we are going to see maybe some new offensive tactics. Gardner's going to try maybe put in some different players in some different positions and try to ignite the spark that the Falcon offense had in their last homestand when they were here before.
Yeah, the Falcons did really well in that last homestand. They'll definitely be looking to sort of revive some of that production, hopefully relying on Addie Martin, who's consistently productive, 12 homers on the season. Going to be looking to build on some of those earlier successes and find that spark again.
Yeah, as we look towards the game starting up here in a few minutes, we'll take a look at the MAC softball standings, get you all caught up on where these teams stand going into this game. Western Michigan, with their win over Bowling Green on Friday, passed them in the standings. They're now 5-7 in conference compared to Bowling Green's 5-9 in conference. Those 2 teams are sitting 7th and 8th in the MAC, respectively, just outside of that MAC softball tournament cutoff at 6th place, where NIU stands. Below Bowling Green in the standings, Buffalo at 4-8, Toledo at 3-9, Kent State at 0-12. And then at the top, Miami of Ohio, of course, their 4 straight MAC titles, is looking for their 5th here at 14-1 to start off MAC play. OU, who Bowling Green has coming up here on Tuesday, sitting in 2nd place at 9-2, and then Central at 9-4. Ball State at 9-5, and Akron at 6-6. So it's probably good for this team, Bowling Green, just to be able to compete here to get to that spot there in the MAC tournament late after such a rough year in 2024.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge progression from last year. Michelle Gardner coming in, really making a difference in the culture of this team, the makeup of this team, and definitely going to be looking to sneak into that MAC tournament. It is possible. You can't say it's not possible, only being 2 spots out, but this is an important series for the Falcons here.
Yeah, with a tough schedule coming up, OU on Tuesday, and then a road trip for next week and up to Mount Pleasant to play those 9-4, Central Michigan Chippewas. Is going to be tough, and Bowling Green needs to take advantage of these games against these lower MAC opponents while they still have them. We'll take a short break for the national anthem and starting lineups. When we come back, you'll have your first pitch here of the first game of a doubleheader between Western Michigan and Bowling Green. You're listening to Saturday Softball on Falcon Radio.
BGSU women's golfer Sammy Dulce is Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week. Recently, the sophomore finished 2nd at the Dolores Black Falcon Invitational. She shot a 69 in the final round, the tournament's lowest single-round score. Following the match, head coach Aaron Fahey said, "Sammy had a great weekend for us. She always shows up and gives us an under-par round when we need it." The Florida Park, New Jersey native jumped up 6 places in the standings after her stellar final round. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
NHL star Matt Martin for American Humane.
I've had my fair share of bruises and injuries, but for many who put their lives on the line every day, it's not always the injuries you can see that hurt the most. Every single day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. When medications and therapy don't help, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane has created a free guide to help veterans obtain these life-saving animals. For help, please go to AmericanHumane.org.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
On February 11th, 2025, BGSU senior forward Marcus Johnson nailed an improbable corner three-pointer at the buzzer to give Bowling Green a lead over the Ohio Bobcats going into halftime. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz had the call on Falcon Radio.
Thomas looking for someone to inbound it to. Gets it to Johnson. Corner 3, fading away to baseline. Marcus Johnson nails it. Bowling Green goes into half with the 2-point advantage, 34-32 on the miracle shot by Johnson.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
BGSU Baseball continues their road trip with another duel with Western Michigan on Saturday, April 12th. Check out Falcon Media Sports Network's Caden Knapp's recap of the game on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to Meserve Field. We're just about to get underway here for game 1 of 2 in a Saturday doubleheader between Bowling Green and Western Michigan. It's time for your starting lineups here, starting with the Bowling Green Falcons. Taylor Barrett will lead off in the absence of Katie Hutter, the normal leadoff hitter. Barrett playing first base, Addie Martin at third, Hannah Hunt at second base, and Cameron Kaufman at the cleanup spot at shortstop. That tells you how good that Falcon infield has been all year, that all 4 of them leading off that lineup. Scarlett Anderson gets only her second start in the lineup of the year, hitting at DH in the 5 spot. Ava McKee will take the catcher spot, and then Kendall Matthews, Hannah Massaro, and Peyton Steffes, the outfielders, will round out the lineup with Morgan Beckham in the circle. Kevin, would you take us through the Western Michigan lineup?
Yeah, for sure. So we got Peyton Kelly, the center fielder, leading off, followed by Tristan Head, the right fielder, and Riley Dittmar, the left fielder. Jordan Smith after that, and then the second baseman Annalise Niles, third base Michaela Booth, the DH spot going to Jaden Merrill, the first base spot with Riley Chumley, and then Caitlin Tyga at the shortstop spot with Kaylee O'Connor as the right-handed starting pitcher.
Yeah, Kaylee O'Connor, 7.4 ERA, 15 appearances and 5 starts. We'll get a look at her in the bottom half of the inning as Morgan Beckham takes the first pitch. That one's going to be high and inside for ball 1, and we are underway here at Meserve Field.
Yeah, and it's been a bit of a nippy day. I think you said 50 degrees. It's a little cold outside, but it's partly cloudy. Nice day for some softball and a little bit of wind, but not too much.
Oh, and sky high. It's going to be Martin ranging out into foul play, and she's going to make a fantastic play right there by the chain link fence at the third base line, reaching around her head there to make that play.
Wow. That was a play I could not even see because it was so far to the left.
Yeah, 1 out, 1 quick out there by Morgan Beckham. Next up, it's going to be Tristan Head, the right fielder for Western Michigan. Head a junior out of Wright City, Missouri, transferred from Tennessee Tech after 2023, didn't play in 2024. Another one hit right towards the third base foul line. That one's going to go over the chain link fence and out of play, however. It'll be strike 1.
Yeah, and Tristan Head, she's been good this season, 342 batting average. She has 5 homers, 18 RBI. She's been pretty successful, so she puts the Broncos in a good position here.
One of 3 hitters over 300 at the top of this lineup. It's going to be low, gets away from Ava McKee for ball 1. McKee kind of taken over this starting catcher job from Ashley Chevalier, maybe thanks to a lot of her offensive production that she's had, hitting just over 220 on the season. Been hitting pretty well lately, especially.
Yeah, we've seen some improvement from Ava McKee. She wasn't originally in the starting lineup, but sort of working her way up into that rotation. And that's what's interesting about baseball and softball. You see these roster changes throughout the season, these little tweaks that teams make, and hopefully these tweaks help the Falcons get their offensive production back.
2-1 count. Beckham deals. That one skied into center field. It's going to be ranging back. Matthews going all the way to the wall, but it's going to be Hannah Massaro who will make the play. And that will be 2 down here in the top of the first.
And that's what Bowling Green's going to be looking for here defensively, just that efficiency, already having 2 outs, looking to get out of innings cleanly. And when you're looking for that MAC tournament spot, trying to move up, this is the team that's right ahead of us in the standings. We're at 8, they're at 7. So this is a big opportunity here in this doubleheader.
Riley Dittmar, senior power hitter for these Broncos. 12 RBIs on the year, hitting .391 in 110 at-bats, slugging .527.
Wow.
Our 6th in the MAC in batting average, 10th in on-base, 6th in total hits, and 9th in stolen bases. So does it all from the offensive part of the ball. That one's skied. It's going to be Matthews over there in left field who will make the play. And Morgan Beckham works through the top of the first with no real problems. We'll be back for the bottom of the first. The Falcons will step up to the plate. You are listening to Saturday Softball on Falcon Radio.
All over America, people are taking the National Radon Test. Have you? Answer true or false. Radon is a radioactive gas. True.
I didn't know that, no.
True or false? The Office of the Surgeon General recommends that all homes be tested for radon. True, your home should be tested. True or false? Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. True.
I'm going to dial the number and call.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Keep your family safe from radon. Call now.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our two stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
Welcome back to BGSU Softball right here on Falcon Radio. I'm Henry Costco, joined by broadcast partner Kevin Hutchinson. Falcons get out of the top of the first without any damage done by the Broncos. So Kaylee O'Connor will enter the circle to pitch for the Broncos. Kaylee O'Connor having a pretty decent year so far, 7.4 ERA. She's had a lot of trouble lately. Last outing against Buffalo, 4 innings on 6 runs, 3 of them being earned, and then struggled in another outing on the road against Central on April 1st, 1 2/3 of 3 earned runs. So Falcons going to be looking to take advantage early, but we saw all this pitching success that Western Michigan had yesterday. We'll see if they'll continue that today.
Yeah, and that's something the Falcons are going to want to put a stop to if they're going to make a dent here in this doubleheader. You know, just throwing Kaylee O'Connor out of her momentum is going to be a big key for the Falcons here.
Up steps Taylor Barron, new leadoff hitter in the absence of Katie Hutter, who's typically in that spot. It's going to be low and outside for ball 1. Taylor Barron having an awesome year after struggling in 2024, 1 for 2 yesterday, one of 2 Falcons to earn hits in that game. She's hitting .315 on the year with a .360 slug, 111 at-bats on the year.
Yeah, she's been really, really excellent.
That one's in there for strike 1. Nice pitch by O'Connor, dropping in the off-speed right in the middle of the zone. Michelle Gardner, we've talked to her past couple of weeks. She's been happy with the way this team has performed, and her message is just generally the team's you're not gonna win the season in one game, and this team is learning throughout the year about their strengths, about their weaknesses, and they've been playing it pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, and I think this is a team that's playing, they're playing together, they're playing with maturity, and they're just going one game at a time, and that's really all you can do. I mean, they've already improved on last year's record, but they're trying to sneak into that MAC tourney, and that's how you do it.
That one's grounded foul towards the third base line. It's going to be 2-2 for Barron. But Garner, you mentioned that maturity. That's what she brings as a head coach over 30 years in coaching, going back to even a stint at Bowling Green in the early 90s. Came in from Coastal Carolina as an assistant coach last year. Got the job as the head coach for Bowling Green this year.
Yeah, and that's the depth of experience that I think this program needed to really take the next step. I mean, obviously, you're not going to become a championship team in 1 year after how rough last year was, but just to make a step is important.
That one's grounded to third, not going to be able to make the play, and that's going to be Barron's going to reach base on that play. That was third baseman Michaela Booth, who wasn't able to handle that well-hit ground ball to third base, and Barron's going to reach base.
Yeah, that was just a little too I wonder if that'll go down as an error. That was just a little on the ground. She couldn't quite get the angle on it, and results in an on-base opportunity for BG.
Addie Martin will step up to the plate with a runner on. Addie Martin, not the player you want to see if you're Western Michigan after the leadoff hitter gets on base. Martin, .358 average, third in OPS, third most home runs. The MAC, but that one's lined right to right fielder Tristan Head, and that's going to be an out real quick for Martin, so 1 down and 1 on.
Yeah, that's a shame. That was almost like a perfect arc through the air right toward that right fielder. And, yeah, just an easy out for the Bronco defense.
One brings up Hannah Hunt, another red-hot Falcon infielder who's had a fantastic offensive season even in the past few games. Has held on to a 5-game hit streak throughout the Falcons' offensive drought. ended it in NIU, ended an even longer hit streak before that in the NIU series. So she's had a fantastic year. Just consistency has been the mark for her.
Yeah, and her 353 average is really strong. I mean, she's a good hitter, has some power on the ball, and hopefully she can turn something free here.
That one's grounded right to the pitcher, O'Connor. She's going to go to second, make the play there, and Hunt will beat out the throw to first, so double play is not made, and 2 outs will be the number with a runner on first.
Looks like these are two teams that are sort of in gridlock right now. Both these defenses playing some really tight softball, and we'll wait and see who can break something open on the offensive end.
Yeah, it took a while on Friday. We've seen kind of 4 straight really defensive games that these Falcons have played. See if today will be another case of the same. Cameron Kaufman steps up to the plate. The shortstop takes a strike on the off-speed right down the middle there. Kaufman returning after injury in the NIU series. Missed a couple weeks. Didn't play in conference until that series. Earned an RBI in her first game back.
Yeah, and she's a good role player, a good contributor, 11 RBIs on the season.
One's going to be grounded to third. Booth makes the play. This time, skies the throw to first. That one's going to get over the head of the Bronco defender, and Kaufman will move to second base on the error. That's going to be a throwing error on Michaela Booth Shirley, and they tried to throw it to home, and it got past the catcher, and Hannah Hunt is going to score. Aaron, back-to-back Aaron throws by Western Michigan.
The catcher didn't even know the ball was coming.
First baseman Riley Chumley made 2 errors there. Didn't quite make the play on the throw from Booth, and then skied the catcher Jordan Smith on the throw to home. Hunt was extremely indecisive in her pursuit to home plate. Maybe caught Western Michigan off guard. It didn't really seem like anyone was expecting her to go.
Yeah, that was a head scratcher if you're Western Michigan. I mean, they're having a meeting on the mound. That was just a weird series of plays that worked in Bowling Green's favor.
Yeah, so that's going to be 3 errors on the day already.
Wow.
2 on that play for Western. That play that Barrett reached on, the misplay from Booth, was also registered as an error. So Bowling Green on the board here early. Good to see for the Falcons.
Yeah. Oh, so that was registered as an error. Okay. That makes sense. But, yeah, that is costly if you're Western Michigan. 3 errors already. Definitely not something you want to continue.
O'Connor will be looking to get out of this first inning quickly here. Scarlett Anderson steps up, mentioned in pregame, only her second start in the lineup, playing DH here today. Still hasn't earned a hit on the season, although she does have an RBI and a walk in 8 at-bats.
She'll be looking to produce some Shohei Ohtani two-way magic here, pitcher on the offensive end.
Swing and a miss there, so it's going to be 1-1 to Anderson. Anderson really kind of boosted this pitching staff as kind of the main innings eater in the non-conference part of the schedule. Had a lot of innings there in a lot of these tournaments in Oklahoma and South Carolina, and as of late in MAC play, it's kind of been Morgan Beckham who's taken over. Morgan Beckham and Mackenzie Kraftschick who have taken over that kind of first and second pitcher role. That one's hit to Booth. Booth not able to make the play, but the shortstop will make it and throw the first, but Anderson is able to beat it out after shortstop Caitlin Tyga didn't quite get the throw there in time after Booth wasn't able to make the play. So the Falcons will score after the runner from third reaches home.
Good play for the Falcons right there. Great play.
Goal for Anderson was just to put the ball in play, force the Broncos to make the play there.
Spreading that yellow wall of the Bronco defense a little thin.
Steps Ava McKee, freshman catcher out of Pataskala, Ohio. Swing and a miss on strike one. O'Connor really liking that off speed here early in the count. Getting a lot of strikes in there.
Yeah, and she's playing, I'll give O'Connor credit. I mean, she's playing with some poise. Things are kind of collapsing around her right now, but she's focused and she's pitching really well, I think, so far.
That one's going to be low. But, Western Michigan, 4 errors. The first thing, that last play on the misplay from Booth was also registered as an error. So I mean, O'Connor just got to be disappointed in her defense here, the performance that they've put on for her in the first.
Yeah, and it's tough when you don't have that backup from your team. I mean, I think, we got a play
grounded
here.
to short. They're going to make the play to second, and that will end the inning, but not before the Falcons score 2 runs here in the bottom of the first. Great job by them getting on the board early, but we'll stay right here for this short break. We'll talk about our uniform roundup outfit of the day. This segment, of course, brought to you by The Swoop, our weekly student sports show. We're rounding out last couple episodes here as we get towards the end of the school year, but we're still chugging along, so make sure to check those out on Tuesday nights on bgfalconmedia.com YouTube channel. Interesting uniform matchup here today. It's an orange versus yellow, Kevin.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting. Reminds you of those Steelers versus Browns matchups we see a lot in the fall. But the Western Michigan uniforms really remind me of the Savannah Bananas a little bit. Very yellow, almost with the brown accents, kind of like a chocolate banana split, making me hungry for some ice cream.
Yeah, they're rocking the full yellow, although they do have the white helmets. Kind of a debatable look with the brown socks as well. I'm not a big fan of it personally. I think brown and yellow just isn't maybe the best color combination. I think there might be a reason why you don't see that too often in college sports.
Yeah, I think there definitely is a reason. As for BG's uniforms, I might be a bit biased, but I think we're looking pretty sharp. I mean, you got the white pants, orange jerseys, and I think that's a really sweet sort of creamsicle combination.
Yeah, with the orange and white stirrups, that combination is really looking nice, especially Pops with the sun shining here on this pretty nice Saturday after we've had some pretty brutal cold days here in Bowling Green. It's nice to finally get some spring weather in spring.
Finally. It's been freezing so far.
Beckham delivers first pitch of the second inning. That's going to be a ball outside to the catcher, Jordan Smith. Smith Jr. out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, attended Notre Dame Prep High School, transferred after 2 years at Central Michigan where she really didn't play, and she just came here to Western Michigan as a junior and immediately contributed. 278 at the plate, 20 hits on 15 RBIs and 8 home runs, so really bringing that power in all categories.
Yeah, definitely, and that's great when you see a player who can play well on both sides of the ball, a player who can really help a team gel. I mean, not everybody's going to be a star like Addie Martin, but you need contributors.
Yeah, the depth of this Western Michigan offense is really something that has kind of helped them, especially in their non-conference bid. We've really seen them kind of come into their own. This Bowling Green series for them is a huge deal after kind of a tough schedule. They've already played Miami, already played Central Michigan. Teams that Bowling Green still has yet to come up in the schedule.
Yeah, and that's big. This is big for both teams, really, because as we established, Western Michigan at 7th, Bowling Green at 8th. This is a huge moment for either team to try to seize some momentum and finish the season on a strong note.
Yeah, Western on a 3-game win streak right now after winning the last 2 in a series against Buffalo, but got swept in a 2-game series on the road against Central and swept at home against Miami earlier in the year. So they had a tough stint in MAC play there, but they're kind of getting back into it. It's going to be a full count to Jordan Smith after that one was pretty wild, high and outside. Ava McKee not able to reach it.
And this, to me, is an early prove-it moment here for Western Michigan. You got a full count, see if they can produce something here.
There's the 3-2. That one's going to be lined right to Kaufman at short, but she makes the nice play. Easy throw to Taylor Barron over at first, and great play by the Falcons.
Yeah, that was an excellent play. That was just a smooth rhythm play. She caught the ball, didn't rush the throw, but made it in rhythm. And great little catch there by Taylor Barron to close out the out.
Composure that the veteran presence of Cameron Kaufman provides in the infield has been a difference maker. We've really just seen it even in the results and the error count of this team since her return.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying?
Addie Martin, who kind of came into that spot, took over for Kaufman at the shortstop position. Had a little bit of trouble early on, but really kind of settled into that position. But it was more the rest of the infield that had a lot of trouble, especially the corners there in the absence of Kaufman.
Yeah, definitely. But Addie Martin did step into that role. I mean, she seemed like a natural shortstop. I mean, I think it's just her athleticism and ability to make those plays allowed her to excel at multiple positions.
Annalise Niles, second baseman, sophomore, hitting .375 and only 16 at-bats up to the plate right now. Here's the 1-1. That one's hit again to Kaufman. This one a little bit of a dribbler, and Barrett makes the play just in time. So 2 down real quick here in the top of the second.
Yeah, and this is what the Falcons are going to be looking for, just efficiency, ways to close out innings and just get the first game of the doubleheader out of the way with a W. Hopefully they can hang on to this lead here.
The freshman Michaela Booth out of Allen, Texas, not Allen High School. That's kind of a theme on this Western Michigan team. You see a couple players from California, a couple players from Texas. Obviously big baseball, big softball states. Kind of unorthodox in terms of the MAC. You typically see a lot of players, mostly recruited in the Ohio area like Bowling Green. A little bit more diverse in terms of representation across the country for WMU.
Yeah.
That one's going to be lined out to Peyton Steffes in right field, and she will make the play without too much trouble. So quick top of the second for Morgan Beckham, and they get out of the inning unscathed. Your score is 2-0. You're listening to Bowling Green Softball on Falcon Radio.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcons coming up to bat here in the bottom of the second. It will be the 7, 8, 9 outfielders. The Falcons left fielder Kendall Matthews will lead off. Center fielder Hannah Massaro second, and Peyton Steffes in right. Rounds out the order here coming up in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, and Kendall Matthews here, she has had some production, 2 homers on the season, 12 RBIs. I mean, she's been a contributor here. We're going to see if she can produce something.
Kendall Matthews, junior transfer from Lakeland College after last year, the lone transfer on this Falcon squad. She takes ball 1. Kendall been kind of taken over the spot left by Erilyn Nogue's departure to Kent State after last year. At that center field spot, she is in left today. There's ball 2 low. O'Connor really likes that off speed. We've seen it a lot here early in the count, trying to get the swing and miss. Didn't work on that case as Matthews holds up.
But it has worked in a lot of cases, so
it has.
If it keeps working, might as well keep doing it.
That's going to be a little dribbler over to Booth at third, but it looks like it hit off of the foot of Matthews as she goes limping back towards the batter's box.
Yeah, a little bit of an odd play there, but she's meeting with Gardner here.
They're just going to try to walk it off. When you get hit there in the foot, that's never fun as a hitter, and then she's got to go back and finish her at bat. She's going to walk it off, use her bat as a cane down there, and Gardner reassuring her.
Quick conversation here with the umpire, and then hopefully, yeah, it looks like she's stepping back to the plate, going to resume play.
So 2-1 count. O'Connor and this Bronco defense looking to bounce back after a tough bottom of the first. 4 errors committed in that inning, allowing 2 Bowling Green runs to cross the plate. Score, of course, 2-0 Bowling Green, as there's another ball low and inside, so 3-1 count to Matthews.
Yeah, and O'Connor's got to watch that, letting the hitter get ahead in the count. Not something you want to do if you're Western Michigan.
Second most walks out of anyone on the Falcons. Matthews with 17. She'll take strike 2 right down the plate. So it's going to be a full count. Little Yoff hitter in the bottom of the second. Can O'Connor begin this inning well. Here's the 3-2. One's going to be low and inside, and Matthews will take her 18th walk of the season and get the leadoff runner on base.
Yeah, add another walk to that list.
Up steps the freshman Hannah Massaro. We've seen her in a couple of different positions throughout the year. It's mostly been left field, but we also saw her in first base in stints. Now she's playing center field here today.
I love her walk-up song. That song by Luke Combs from the Twisters movie.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. But Massaro puts the bunt down. Looks like they're going to try the sacrifice, but that one's going to stay foul. Matthews will have to retreat back to first. Massaro with that kind of unusual batting stance, I guess you could say. She leaves her bat out there in front of the plate, pulls it back before her swing, or leaves it there in the case of the bunt, like the last pitch. Here's the 0-1.
Yeah, that is a bit of a bizarre stance. I don't know if I'd be able to do that, pull it back and then swing it right away, but I guess if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, there's going to be ball one. Matthews going to retreat back to first. That one's going to be called a strike. Actually, I was wondering why Matthews went back to first, but it looks like it was a foul ball. So it's going to be 0-2 now on Massaro. Forced to take that one. That's going to get away from catcher down there, and Matthews will advance to second. Jordan Smith not able to handle that one.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird play right there. Seemed like it bounced off the catcher. Bit of an odd pitch by O'Connor.
That one in the dirt, trying to get Matthews to chase on the, Massaro, excuse me, to chase on the 0-2. So here's the 1-2. Massaro leaving that bat out there still. She's going to take a swing at it. O'Connor will make the play, flubs it at first and gets it to first, but not in time. Massaro beats it out using that speed, and O'Connor just not able to make the play. And is that going to be another error on Western Michigan? It very well could be.
I think it should be. I mean, that was a bit of a head-scratching play there for Western Michigan. They just got to clean up that defense and tighten up that efficiency on that side of the ball.
To be fair, that ball did come out O'Connor rather quickly. Obviously only 40 feet between the circle and home plate. Just not got her glove on it, just wasn't able to pick it up. Had to go back down for it. And that kind of time delay allowed Massaro to reach first.
And that is going to be registered as another error. Just saw the scoreboard go up to 5. So we got 5 errors by the Broncos. Those yellow uniforms must be bad luck.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, 5, and we haven't even gotten an out here in the second inning. We did see 8 errors committed by Kent State a couple of weeks ago here at Messer Field. So you may be potentially on error watch here. See if they'll be able to break that mark.
Yeah,
Western Michigan regrouping right now. They're taking a little pause, and O'Connor talking it over with her infielders.
Yeah, I can't blame him. I mean, O'Connor's been pitching well, but she hasn't really had the support from her infield. Sort of reminds you of a quarterback when his defense isn't really playing well for him, not really having that support.
Yeah, not getting the support that you need. Pitchers can only do so much. You know, you can't strike out every hitter. The ball's got to get in play eventually. Head coach Marley Wilson for Western Michigan, her second year as head coach, broke the program record for wins in the first season for a head coach last year with 27. Surely not happy with the team's start. That one's going to be way outside, and it's going to be taken off. It's going to be Matthews who took off to go to third, and she was out at third on the play. Great throw there by Smith to get Matthews out at third.
Yeah, that was a good momentum shifter for Western Michigan, looking to get back in position to sort of even up this game here in the second.
So Massaro will move to second. So she's in the scoring position, but Matthews exits the base path. So 1 on second and 1 out. 1-1 count to Peyton Steffes. Takes a strike. 1-2 count now. Peyton Steffes, sophomore out of Rockford, Michigan. Had a pretty good year, all things considered, around 200 in the outfield spot.
Yeah, and Steffes is fast. I mean, she's second on the team with stolen bases with 7 behind Addie Martin's 12. I mean, she is a quick person once you get her on base.
And takes that one low and way outside for ball 2. Steffes Also a fantastic defender, utilizes that speed on the base pass as well as on the defensive side of the ball. Here's going to be the 2-2. One's fouled off right at the plate. So O'Connor will have to deliver another pitch to Steffes. Runner on scoring position. You want to just put the ball in play, honestly, if you're Bowling Green, with all the errors that Western Michigan has committed here early on.
Yeah, even if the ball stays in the infield, you feel comfortable because of all those errors. If you're Bowling Green, that something's going to break open.
That one's going to be lined out into left field. Will it get down? It will. Massaro's going to round third and score easily as Steffes walks into second with an RBI double, and it's 3-0 Falcons.
And the crowd is loving that play. That was just a great hit right to the left field wall, out of reach of the defender, and just a great way to bring Massaro home.
It's 30 hits now on the year for Steffes Massaro. Obviously, fast there on the base pass, reached rather easily. Steffes has struggled. Last four games have been hitless, so she's getting back on the offensive board in a big way with that one.
And that's what we talked about, right, is Bowling Green, getting that offensive spark back, and that's what we're really looking for in this game.
I mentioned Kaylee O'Connor and the struggles that she's had as a pitcher here this season, 7.4 ERA on the year, and especially lately she's had a hard time getting out of these first few innings in her outing. Not getting much help from her defense here today either.
No, she hasn't had a ton of support, and that's tough. You want to play complementary softball, the whole team working together.
Taylor Barrett takes ball 2, so it's going to be 2-0. Exact same situation as it was last at bat after Matthews got out. Runner on second with 1 out. This time it's Steffes, though, instead of Massaro. It's going to be the 2-0 from O'Connor. It's going to drop in there for strike 1. Nice pitch by O'Connor to drop that one on the outside corner.
Yeah, now that we're back to the top of the order here for Bowling Green, this is a situation where Western Michigan is going to want to tighten up, play some efficient defense, and get out of this inning unscathed.
Here's the 2-1. It's going to be grounded past Booth to shortstop, and that's going to be a play finally made by the Western Michigan defense, and Barrett will go back home to the dugout, so 2 outs with the runner on second now.
And that's where this Western Michigan team trying to rebuild that trust, rebuild that cohesion on the defensive end, that was a big play for Western Michigan.
Yeah, Caitlin Teig, good composure as that one got past Booth. Teig picked it up, sent it over to first. It's going to be Addie Martin who steps up after lining out to center in her first at-bat. It's going to be in there for strike 1. So O'Connor trying to get out of this inning with only 1 earned run.
And O'Connor's been great at getting strikes on the first pitch. I mean, she's been great at using off-speed, dipping those balls in toward the outside corner, and she's just been excellent at that.
0-1 drops in a little bit low. It's going to be ball 1. Addie Martin had a fantastic year after a redshirt freshman year that sidelined her due to injury, hitting well over 300, 358 with an OPS. That's over 1,100. She's top of the MAC in a lot of offensive categories, 3rd in home runs, 4th in OPS. He takes a swing and a miss for strike 2.
And not only that, but she tops the Falcon team in almost every statistical category.
Yeah.
I mean, she tops the team in batting average, in stolen bases. She's just a monster in pretty much every aspect of the game.
And she's played fantastic defense as well from either third or short, using that cannon of an arm that she has. It's grounded it right into the BG dugout as she stays alive.
Yeah, for now. It's interesting to see her pink gloves really make her uniform stick out. I actually like them. I think they complement the orange really well.
Yeah, they do. Here's going to be the 1-2. Steffes already at second. Pitch is low and outside. Martin takes that one. Martin earned a D1 Softball National Player of the Week award just a few weeks ago after an outstanding homestand that she had against Green Bay, Youngstown State, and Kent State. Just a 2-2 from O'Connor. That one's low, so it's going to be a full count. Low and outside. O'Connor does not want to give Martin anything to hit, especially with first base open and 2 outs in the inning.
Definitely. And these are the clutch moments where Addie Martin really tends to shine. I mean, this is if Western Michigan can get this out, this will be big.
12 home runs on the year. Here's the 3-2. One's grounded to Booth. Booth, again, not able to make the play. Got it in her glove, but not able to make the transfer. Martin's going to try to go to second, but she's going to be caught and head back to first. Tried to go to second and forced Western to throw, maybe try to get Steffes home, but retreated back to first, which was the right decision. Booth makes the 6th error for the Broncos.
And this puts runners on the corner for BG, setting up potentially more scoring opportunities. I mean, we've established Peyton Steffes is fast. Having her on third base is not ideal for the Broncos.
Jordan Smith going to have to be on high alert for wild pitches or pass balls. Steffes will take advantage of that opportunity in a heartbeat. Again, watch for Martin stealing second here with the runners on the corners and 2 outs. As there she goes. Throw going to be faked by Smith. Doesn't even make an attempt. Now will be 14 stolen bases on the year for Addie Martin.
Wow. Yeah, she's just so fast. So fast. And just the athleticism you see. And that's what really makes her a dominant player for BG is just her legs and her arm, being able to make plays.
Yeah, peak athleticism in the MAC. There's a swing and a miss. Hannah Hunt goes down 0-2 in the count. Kelly O'Connor's pitch count has got to be getting up there here early on after 2 tough innings.
Well, she's been the best player in the field for the Broncos. I mean, she's been the most consistent, hasn't committed any errors. She's pitched well, getting strikes on the first pitch. She's been really the gem of this Bronco defense.
This is going to be lined out into right field by Hunt and not able to make the play. Diving attempt there. That was right fielder Tristan Head. Not able to quite make the play and past the foul line. So we'll stay in 0-2 count.
And this is an interesting situation for BG. We now have runners on second and third. Could really be a huge inning if Hannah Hunt can get something going here.
And I'll reach on error. Her last stab bat. It's going to be the 0-2 fueled by Kaylee O'Connor. It's going to be low. It's going to get away from Smith, but not too far. Steffes will stay at third.
And Steffes can close that distance really in a heartbeat.
Hannah Hunt hitting .353 on the year. She's a player that the Falcons won up in this situation for sure. That one's going to be grounded. Booth makes the play this time, and that's going to be bounced foul. So kind of the one-time Booth is able to make the play down there. It's past the other side of the foul line.
And that's tough. Booth's been having a tough day. I don't know if she's just out of rhythm, but a couple of errors on her part have definitely made the Falcons' job easier.
Yeah, it can just kind of be a downhill spiral for players like that. When you kind of make the first error, you're kind of thinking about it a lot. That one's going to tag at shortstop. She'll make the play and head it over to first with no problem. So that will end the bottom of the second, but not before the Falcons add another onto their lead. Your score 3 for Bowling Green, 0 for Western Michigan. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
I'm BG News reporter Ava Thoman, and here's a look at this week's edition of the BG News. The celebration of graduates, recognizing communities. BGSU is putting on 4 celebrations of multicultural graduates. Find out who will be celebrated. ONMA Awards. BG Falcon Media swoops in and wins 5 awards. More about what it took to win 5 Ohio News Media Association awards. Tax day, refunds, and deductions. Want money? Graduating students have an opportunity to receive a tax refund. Find out how and more about filling out your taxes. Fanatics to host Eddie George Tailgate. Students have the opportunity to watch the team practice and meet head coach Eddie George. Read more about the event. Check out these stories and more in this week's edition of the BG News, now available on newsstands around the BGSU campus and the Bowling Green community.
Morgan Beckham takes the mound once again as we reach the top of the third. Bowling Green leads Western Michigan 3-0. Beckham had a lot of time to sit there in the dugout and think about what's coming up for her after Kaylee O'Connor had some troubles. More of the defense for Western Michigan that had a lot of trouble. Beckham only 19 pitches on the game.
And this puts BG's defense in a good position here. When the other team's defense is struggling, it lets you take a breath a little bit, and it lets you really assess what you want to do.
Yeah, Beckham hasn't really had the opportunity to pitch with a lead a lot this season. She'll sure be thankful for that opportunity here today. Just try to force these Western Michigan Hares to get some weak contact and force this Falcon infield that is full strength right now to make those plays.
Definitely.
It's going to be the 2-0 from Beckham. That one is skied high. It's going to be in play for Addie Martin right by the Falcon dugout, and she will make the play, sending Jaden Merrill back to the dugout without any success.
Great play by Addie Martin right there.
That's great awareness to know right where you are, right next to that dugout. Stuck out her right hand to feel where she was going. Made the play without any trouble. Riley Chumbley steps up, first baseman junior out of Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, attended Floyd Central High School. 154 average in 2024. But
that's
247 average in 2023, so big drop off there for her, but kind of bounced back with a 213 this year in 61 at-bats.
And she's had 2 homers on the season, so she has the potential to be productive and make some explosive plays.
McKee ran over to meet with Beckham really quick, and we'll be back in players. The count is 1-0. 1 out here in the top of the third. Blue and Green leads Western Michigan. It's the 1-0. That one's in there for strike one. Beckham looks confident and calm out there, as she should be, with this 3-1 lead.
Yeah, and she hasn't been called on to do that much. I mean, obviously as a pitcher, you're always doing a lot, but the errors from WMU have allowed this pitching staff to breathe easy.
One's going to be hit well, but down the third base line and foul. Matthews not able to get to it. It's going to be 1-2 count.
Beautiful day out today. Finally, the clouds have cleared, and we're getting some great sun on the field today.
Yeah, finally. It's nice to see the sun shining, and great crowd here today to see this doubleheader. It is senior day, honoring 4 Falcon seniors. One of them playing here today, Scarlett Anderson, in the lineup alongside Ellie Price, Maddie Young, and Winnie Reed, the 3 other seniors honored here today.
Even the athletic director came out for the event.
That one's lined out there right to Kendall Matthews in left field. Didn't have to make much of an effort there. Just stood right there, and the ball came right to her. So Chumbley retired, and that's going to bring up Caitlin Teig, the shortstop, sophomore.
And this Falcon defense has been playing good. They've been playing quietly good. Like, not a lot of explosive defensive plays, but just consistent rhythm plays, rhythm throws. And that's what you need to close out games and close out innings.
If you're not talking about the defense too much, that's typically a good thing, because that means they're doing their job well. 6 errors for WMU, but none for BG so far. It's been the difference for sure.
Oh, definitely. I mean, when you're out-errored 6-0, I mean, that's kind of an issue.
It's going to be in there. Teig is going to be down 1-1 early on here in the count. Sophomore hitting .298 with a .793 OPS, 84 at-bats, 25 hits already on the season, 13 walks as well. That's second most on the Broncos. That one's going to be skied high. It's going to be Hunt who's going to go out into the outfield and make the play, and the Falcons retire. The Broncos 1, 2, 3 once again get through the full Bronco order in order. So it's 3-0. Bowling Green leads. Western Michigan will be back for the top of the fourth. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Falcons Men Golf competes in the Buckeye Classic in Columbus on Friday, April 11th and Saturday, April 12th. Check out the recap of the event written by Falcon Media Sports Network's Foster Rostai on bgfalconmedia.com.
Western Michigan defense looking to get back in their rhythm here in the bottom of the third inning. Bowling Green steps up to bat. It's going to be Cameron Kaufman who leads off for the Falcons. Score is 3-0. Bowling Green 2 in the first and 1 in the second. Taking advantage of some sloppy Western Michigan defense to score those runs.
Yeah, and that's what you got to take advantage of. When the other team gives you free points, might as well take them. Nothing wrong with it.
Kaufman takes strike one. Hasn't had a lot of offensive success since her return in the NIU series. Looking to get back in her rhythm, hitting .247 on the year.
Yeah, she's been good. As you said, has struggled a bit since her return, but that's natural. You got to get warmed up again, get the rust off, and she has an opportunity to do that today.
651 OPS, has yet to record a home run on the year. A sophomore out of Sandusky, Ohio, attended Perkins High School. Only one hit in the past 5 games for her, dating back to the Indiana game on March 8th. Was the last game she played before returning for the NIU series.
Yeah, got to shout out Sandusky. My dad's from there, great town, great city, and Perkins High School, very good sports school all around.
It's going to be low and inside, so 3-1 count to Kaufman. Kelly O'Connor having kind of a tough couple innings, just not really getting the production that she wants out of her defense. O'Connor, senior out of San Bruno, California, transferred from St. Mary's after 2023 and had a 2.45 ERA in 2024. That one's sky deep for Cameron Kaufman. Ooh. It's going to be well over the fence in left field. Cameron Kaufman, first home run of the season, puts the Falcons up 4-0.
Wow. That ball had some height. It had some speed. That was just a fantastic homer by Kaufman right there.
Great to see the sophomore get back in her rhythm after returning from that injury. If there's anyone you want to see get that home run, it's the shortstop who does so much on the defensive end of the ball and is showing her offensive production as well with that one.
And that's a good way to move up the lineup, move up the depth chart for sure. I mean, that's something Coach Gardner is going to look at, is that playmaking ability on the offensive end.
Skied over the head of left fielder Riley Dittmar, just over the fence there, right next to that MAC champion sign in left field, on that left field fence.
Maybe a little bit of motivation for the future.
Scarlett Anderson steps up. Anderson, not a lot of offensive experience this year. Their second start at the position. Taking in the DH spot. Played some first here and there last year, DH'd as well. Haven't really seen her at the first base position this year, but we've seen her a lot on the mound. And was really fantastic. Had great outings against some really tough teams earlier in the year in the circle.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she's been good on the mound. She's been consistent. And,
that one's hit
big
deep
hit.
in the center
gosh.
field, going back, and that one's going to be gone. Scarlett Anderson, maybe you should put her in the lineup a little bit more.
Wow.
Skied that one deep. That's going to be her first home run of the year. And it's 5-0 Falcons.
High-fiving Coach Gardner along the third baseline as she runs in to get celebrated by her teammates. What a play by Scarlett Anderson.
That one deep into left center field. Hey, O'Connor got to be shaken after really getting rocked here in the bottom of the third.
Do you think it's time for a pitching rotation here if you're Western Michigan?
We may see it. O'Connor has had trouble getting out of the third inning here, as it looks like we may have one right now as head coach Marley Wilson headed up there to the circle. We may see Kaylee O'Connor stepping aside, and we do. So we'll have a pitching change here at Messer Field. Your score 5-0. Bowling Green leads Western Michigan. You're leading to BGSU softball on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Baseball freshman outfielder Carter Motice made his collegiate debut for the Orange and Brown on April 9th, earning the start against Youngstown State. Motice did not disappoint, going 2 for 4 at the plate with 2 doubles and 3 runs batted in. Motice, who is a star at Jackson High School in Massillon, Ohio, did not play in the first half of the season due to injuries. He helped the Falcons defeat the Penguins 17-5, sweeping the season series over Youngstown State. Overall, 9 freshmen have seen action for BGSU baseball this season. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Welcome back to Messer Field. We have a pitching change for Western Michigan. The graduate student Jensen Gramillion enters the game an 8.17 ERA on 18 appearances and 13 starts in 49 2/3 innings on the year for Gramillion. 58 earned runs allowed in those 49 innings, so another pitcher that's had some struggles here early on for the Broncos.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Western Michigan finds themselves in a 5-0 hole. The first 3 runs that BG scored, kind of the defense's fault, but these last 2 homers, nothing you could really do if you're Western Michigan. They were just great hits.
Cameron Kaufman, Scarlett Anderson, back-to-back home runs to lead off the bottom of the third inning. The Falcon offense in well into its rhythm. Great to see this team get runs on the board after failing to score more than 1 run in the past 4 games.
And that was our note of the game going in, right? That they had to boost their offensive production. We're definitely seeing that. And here's Ava McKee looking to increase the team's offensive production.
2-0 is the count. Here's Gramillion's 2-0 offering. That one's going to be in there. First strike 1. Gramillion mentioned she's a graduate student. She's been around. Grad student out of Bunkie, Louisiana, attended Bunkie High School. Transferred from Southwest Mississippi Community College, where she played her freshman year. That one's lined right into right field by Ava McKee. And Tristan Head not able to get there in time. Ava McKee reaches base with another Falcon hit.
Yeah, that was a great little play because it almost had too little juice on it, which was a good thing because it hit the ground before it could be caught by Tristan Head. Great little play by Ava McKee.
Yeah, so McKee reaches base. It's still nobody out in this inning. Kendall Matthews steps up to the plate. 7th hole hitter in this Falcon lineup. Walked in her last time up. That one's going to be skied deep into left field. Dimar going back. That one is going to be way out of here on top of the bullpen. 3 home runs in the bottom of the third for the Falcons, and Kendall Matthews puts them up 7-0.
Wow, I am in disbelief right here. Another home run. Unbelievable production from the Falcon offense.
3rd home run on the year for Kendall Matthews, and it's been a while for her. Great to see her get another home run on the board. The power hitter doing what she does best.
Wow, so much for the pitching change.
Yeah, Gramillion getting attacked right off the bat. And number 25 coming in for Western Michigan. That's Casey Fazzini, so it looks like we may have another pitching change here early on. But how about this? BGSU, after a few games of offensive struggle, have come into this one and immediately put up 7 in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, and who knows what it is. Maybe it's the presence of the athletic director, maybe it's the crowd, maybe it's the weather, but something is clicking for this BG team, and it's great to see.
Yeah, so we have another pitching change. Casey Fazzini coming in for Western Michigan. So we'll step aside once again here for a short bit. You are listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Hey there, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Ball 1, low and outside, dealt to Hannah Massaro as the third Western Michigan pitcher enters the game in as many innings. This time it's Casey Fazzini, the sophomore out of Fontana, California, attended Eddie Wanda High School. 3 innings pitched in 2 separate outings against Buffalo, but we haven't seen her yet in this BG series.
Yeah, and these pitching changes being prompted by some huge home runs, 3 home runs in a row for Bowling Green. Great progression we're seeing through this inning.
2 Falcons getting their first home runs of the season, Cameron Kaufman and Scarlett Anderson. Anderson in only her fifth start in the offensive lineup for the Falcons.
Yeah, that was a big play by Scarlett Anderson.
2 starts at the plate, and then 3 starts the pitcher's side of the ball. That one's going to be in there for Massaro, so it's a 2-2 count. Western Michigan just kind of needs Casey Mazzini to settle in and eat some innings for them after going through a couple of pitchers here early on in this game.
Definitely, and they'll just be looking to tighten up their defense. Oh, foul ball there.
It was dribbled just past the foul line at third base. Booth picks it up. So it'll continue to be a 2-2 count. Saw her reach on an error in her first at-bat and scored as well. Leaving the bat out there, anticipating the pitch from Ms. Fazzini. Here's the 2-2. That one skied foul again. Right off the light pole there behind the Western Michigan dugout. So it'll be 2-2 once again.
Wow, that was a precision hit. I was wondering why it stopped moving, and then I saw the light pole. Wow.
Western Michigan had such a good outing from Kaylee Sawyer yesterday, and now these pitchers struggling. And as that one's going to be in the dirt, it's going to be a full count. Gets away from Smith a little bit. And Massaro hitting 183 on the year with an OPS just under 500 and 33 games started. This is her 34th here today. Here's the full count delivery. That one's going to be skied just over the head of Kaylin Tighe as gets past her outstretched arms. And Hannah Massaro will reach on the single.
That was a great little play. The ball just fit into that window in the outfield. Good play there by Massaro.
Yeah, great placement on that one. Just a little bit too far for Tighe to get out there and too far for Dittmar to come in on it. Just finds the spot there in left field and still nobody out in this bottom of the third inning. Hayden Steffes steps up to bat. She doubled in her first at-bat last inning. One's going to be in there for strike 1.
And Steffes is quick. I mean, once you get her on base, she's a force. So she'll just be looking to put this ball in play and hopefully get to first.
Yeah, Massaro 6 stolen bases on the year as well, so she's a threat there at first right now. That one's going to be swung on and barely tapped foul. So she's down 0-2 early on in the count. Was down 0-2 in her last at-bat as well, however.
That's not a good place for BG to be, but if you're WMU, you're looking to get this out and just move the inning forward. Obviously, there's been a lot of bleeding in these last couple innings for the Broncos.
That one's delivered, and that one's skied high into left field. Ditmar calls for it, and she will make the play in left. So first out of the inning for Western Michigan after it seems like an eternity.
Yeah, that's a big out because once you have a long time before an out for a defense, you're looking to just move the game forward and try to get out of the inning. So that was a big out for the Broncos.
Steps Taylor Barrett, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Did reach on an error. There's the delivery from Fazzini. That one's going to be in there right on the outside corner for strike one. Taylor Barrett moved to the forefront of this Falcon lineup, taking up the spot that Katie Hutter usually occupies, typical designated player or first baseman. That one's a little dribbler. It's going to be Booth who has to make the play quickly, and she will. Gets Barrett at first, so it's going to be 2 down, but Massaro moves into scoring position.
Yeah, at least we have a runner on base, but here comes Addie Martin. This is the person you want up in this situation, hopefully adding another run to sort of pull this game out of reach.
Barn 0-2 on the day, but she reached on an error in her last at-bat. Saying that a lot here. 6 errors on the day for Western Michigan, like we mentioned. That one's going to be low and outside for ball 1. Another case, Martin came up with 2 outs and a runner on second in that at-bat where she reached on that error. She didn't get a lot to hit. That stint got up in the count real quick. Here's the 1-0. It's going to be outside for ball 2. Redshirt freshman from Dover, Ohio. Hard to believe she's only a redshirt freshman with all that she's achieved for the Falcons this season.
Yeah, it truly is amazing, and I think it just comes down to her ability to make plays on both sides of the ball, make plays with her legs, make plays with her arm, and yeah, she's just been a great all-around softball player.
Delivery from Fazzini catches the outside corner for strike 1. So with the runner on second, here's the 2-1. That one swung on and missed. Martin will even up the count at 2-2. Mentioned third pitcher on the day for the Broncos. O'Connor reached 57 pitches. There's the 14th pitch. Fazzini, that one's a drop third strike, and Martin will almost beat it out at first, but good play by Jordan Smith to get the out, but not before the Falcons score 4th in a destructive bottom of the 3rd. Your score is 7-0. Bowling Green leads Western Michigan. You are listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Baseball freshman outfielder Carter Motice made his collegiate debut for the Orange and Brown on April 9th, earning the start against Youngstown State. Motice did not disappoint, going 2 for 4 at the plate with 2 doubles and 3 runs batted in. Motice, who is a star at Jackson High School in Massillon, Ohio, did not play in the first half of the season due to injuries. He helped the Falcons defeat the Penguins 17-5, sweeping the season series over Youngstown State. Overall, 9 freshmen have seen action for BGSU baseball this season. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Morgan Beckham in the circle. Once again, she'll be looking to eat some innings here for the Falcons, who are up 7-0. One thing to keep in mind as we enter the top of the 4th inning is the run rule, 8 after 5. That one is a bunt laid down. Beckham not able to make the play on the bare hand. Tried to pick it up without the glove. Didn't work out too well for her. So that'll be Peyton Kelly, the leadoff hitter, who reaches base for Western Michigan. That is the first base runner for them all game.
And that's going to be a big deal for Western Michigan, trying to avoid that run rule, because that ruins your momentum, right? When you go into the second game of a doubleheader, after getting run ruled, you kind of just feel defeated, and so that's something they're going to want to avoid.
It's a runner on first. Nobody out. Tristan Head steps up, and that one's going to get right past Martin, who was playing up, anticipating the sacrifice bunt, and she will reach base with a single, so runners on quickly for the Broncos.
And that's how they were looking to start this inning here, trying to shift the momentum. They probably know that this game is pretty much out of reach, but if they can avoid that run rule, go into the next game with some momentum, that would be a victory for the Broncos.
4 innings. Still a lot of time left for the Broncos to mount a comeback. If Falcons can score 7-3, Broncos can surely score 7-4. Up steps Riley Ditmar. Not the hitter the Falcons want to see up at the plate right now in this spot. 391 hitter with 12 RBIs on the year, 43 hits.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive there for Ditmar.
And all the at-bats she can muster in that 3-hole for the Broncos. 110. Tries to lay down the bunt. That one gets past McKee. Wasn't quite able to see it, and looks like it's just going to be foul off of the bat of Ditmar. So 1-1 is your count. Runners will stay at first and second.
And that's a good position for Western Michigan to be in, just trying to advance runners, trying to mount that comeback, as you said.
Now on skied high into the air for Payne Steffes, who has to come in just a little bit, but she'll make the play with the sunglasses on. Runner tags up and will reach third. Payne Kelly will make it runners on the corners here with 1 out. Ditmar gets the job done advancing a runner. Double play is in order now.
And that double play would be big for the Falcons, continuing to enforce their dominance over this Western Michigan team.
Jordan Smith steps up, grounded out to short in the second inning. Here's the delivery from Beckham. One's going to be reached and fouled out of bounds behind us. So 0-1 is your count. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Falcons lead Western Michigan 7-0. Beautiful day here at Messer Field. It's around 50-55 degrees. Kind of perfect spring softball weather.
Yeah, the sun's really starting to heat things up out here.
It's fouled back again, so it's going to be an 0-2 count for Smith.
And this is a Falcon team that's really looking to climb back into that playoff picture. Started the season strong, had some difficulties of late, especially against Northern Illinois. Definitely looking to climb back here in this game.
Oh, it's going to be just missing. Beckham wanted the call on that one, but it's going to be a 1-2 count. Jordan Smith, big power threat, OPS over 1,000 with 15 RBIs and 8 home runs on the year.
Wow. That's some power.
It's a threat at the plate. So 1-2, that one gets over the head of McKee, and that's going to advance the runner from first to second. Head makes it easily. So both runners in scoring position, and that's big because double play is more or less out of order now.
Yeah, and this is big because if Western Michigan can tack on some runs here, that would be a big momentum shift here in the middle of this game.
Beckham, big pitch here, 2-2 to Smith. One's going to be lined right to Kaufman. She'll make the play, and the runners will stay. So 2 outs. That's a big out for the Falcons.
That was a great catch for Kaufman. It was coming right at her, just positioned her glove and made the play.
That will bring up Niles for West Michigan, second baseman, sophomore. Hit 375, grounded out to shortstop in her last at-bat. Beckham looking to get out of another inning unscathed. That one's going to be high for ball 1.
And Beckham's been good. She's been consistent. Hasn't made like lights out plays, but she's been good on the mound, consistently getting the Falcons out of innings.
Elise Niles has been red hot at the plate. 7 hits in her last 3 games. Two-way player, also does a little bit of pitching. One's a swing and a miss. Count is 1-1.
Falcon Orange looking sharp on this bright day. Those uniforms really popping against the sun. I love our colors. Great orange.
Orange and brown. For the Falcons, they got the brown featured on the collars of these uniforms and in stripes on the edge of the sleeves. That one's going to be skied high into right field. Steffes has to come in and uses that speed to make the play out there in right field and keeps the shutout alive for the Falcons through 4. Your score is 7-0. Bowling Green leads, and you're listening to Saturday Softball on Falcon Radio.
When severe weather causes telecom network outages, the FCC recommends that you call 911 only when necessary and limit non-emergency calls. Avoid repetitive redialing to minimize network congestion. Try texting if a call doesn't go through. Conserve cell phone power and turn off your phone when not in use. If evacuated, forward landline calls to your cell phone and use your outgoing message to update your status. For more info, go to fcc.gov/emergency.
BGSU Baseball continues their road trip with another duel with Western Michigan on Saturday, April 12th. Check out Falcon Media Sports Network's Caden Knapp's recap of the game on bgfalconmedia.com.
Casey Fazzini takes the circle for another inning here for Western Michigan as they look to come back from this 7-run deficit. Bowling Green put up 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 4 in a third inning that featured 3 Falcon home runs. Cameron Kaufman, Scarlett Anderson, and Kendall Matthews all went deep in a powerhouse of an inning. The Falcons are back in their offensive rhythm that they were in last time we saw them at home in their opening series against Green Bay and Kent State.
Yeah, that was an explosive third inning for the Falcons. Great to see those home runs. The fans were cheering, excited. That was a big inning.
And Hunt fouls another one off the light pole behind the WME dugout. That's 2 here on the day. Hunt, the only hitter who did not get a plate appearance in the third inning. Nearly batted around, but not quite. The 0-1. A little dribbler. Tog has to make the play quickly. Hunt will just beat it out at first base.
Wow.
Using that speed, and Falcons get the leadoff hitter on again.
Great play right there. Great play.
Weak contact kind of played into the advantage for Hunt. Tog had to come in on it pretty heavily. Wasn't able to make the play in time, although the throw was on the mark.
Next up for the Falcons, here's shortstop number 12, Cameron Kaufman.
Cameron Kaufman, we all know what she did in the last inning, hit her first home run of the season.
And whatever she did was contagious because then the rest of the team started scoring home runs too.
He takes ball 1 high. We saw another pitcher in between Kaufman and Fazzini. Kaufman didn't face Gramillion in her short-lived outing. Gramillion only faced 2 batters, only threw 5 pitches before she was taken out in favor of Fazzini.
Yeah, that was just a tough break for her throwing those home runs.
It's going to be high and outside for another ball. Cameron Kaufman will take a 2-1 count here into the rest of her at-bat.
Got a runner on first.
Fazzini deals with the 2-1. That one's low, and Hunt will take off. The throw to second was not going to be in time. Hannah Hunt gets the stolen base on the one that Smith just wasn't able to handle, kept it in front of her. That's the second stolen base on the year for Hunt. She's 2 for 3 now.
Yeah, that was a good field awareness by Hunt to be able to steal that base.
Casey Fazzini, 4.42 ERA, looking to keep that low as that one's going to be ball 4 to Cameron Kaufman. So Fazzini in trouble here early on in the 4th.
Yeah, and this is a tough position for the Broncos here. You're about halfway through the game looking to shift momentum, looking to avoid the run rule, and so far it's just not looking good.
Out comes head coach Marley Wilson to talk Vizzini through this a little bit. Tough situation for WMU. We mentioned the run rule, 8 after 5. They're keeping that in mind. Don't want to end this one early for the Falcons. But while we've got a little bit, I think it's good time to talk about another sport that's going on, the lone kind of sport that's going on for BGSU as well here in the spring. BGSU baseball, who lost in a game against Western Michigan yesterday. They're playing in Kalamazoo, while the Falcons are playing WMU here at Messer Field. BGSU baseball also got big win over Youngstown State on Wednesday after their losing series against Miami, Ohio, where they lost the first 2 games before winning Game 3 in extra innings. Falcon baseball will take on Western Michigan today. They're playing right now. Game started at 1:05, and then Game 3 will take place at 1:05 for them as well.
Yeah, and
Sunday.
That game against Youngstown State was a big statement for the freshman on the baseball team. Mo Tice, I believe, was talked about in one of the commercial breaks. He was excellent in that game, and great way to build some confidence and momentum for that team.
Pitch Anderson, that one's going to be a little bit low. It's going to be ball 2. Anderson, second member who had back-to-back home runs for the Falcons in the 3rd inning. Whereas on first and second, nobody out. Vicini deals. That's going to be popped up and looks like it's going to get out of play just over the netting. You're behind home plate.
Yeah, there have been a few balls that have been tipped right backwards, right over the fence today. Something with the mechanics. It seems like it happens more in softball, I think. Something with the mechanics of the ball.
Here's the 2-2. One's low and outside. Borderline there, and it's going to be a full count for Anderson.
We'll see if she can slug another one past the fence.
Scarlett Anderson, one of 4 seniors honored here on Senior Day, and will already made her Senior Day very memorable with that home run. That one's screaming out into the trees out there past the third base foul line.
Squirrels, watch out.
So it's going to be a full count once again.
Big moment for BG.
Here's the 3-2. Now in Scott, it's going to be playable at second base, and Broncos will make that play. It's going to be an infield fly rule regardless. So Niles makes the play, and it'll be 1 out for the Falcons. David McKee will step up.
Yeah, that was a one that just flew a little bit too high, didn't have the distance.
He steps up. Falcons just kind of looking to get that last run here, meaning to get them to that 8-run mark, which will put the mercy rule into effect after 5 innings of play.
But this Western Michigan defense starting to tighten up. We haven't had any errors in a while, so they're starting to play a bit tighter and finally get into a rhythm. We'll just see if it's too little too late.
It's going to be 1-0 to Mickey. Your score 7-0. We mentioned Western Michigan 6 errors in this game. Not ideal for Bronco defense that Kelly O'Connor was really kind of struggling with. Was pitching well, but defense behind her just wasn't able to make the plays when ball was put into play.
No. But now they're starting to be a bit more stingy out there, not giving up as many free plays for the Falcons.
Ava McKee takes another ball, so down 3-0 is Fazzini. McKee 1 for 2 on the day. Also scored as a run. It's a 3-0. That one's going to be low for ball 4, so bases are going to be all loaded up. That's going to bring up Kendall Matthews, who homered in her last at-bat, walked in her first at-bat as well. This is the hitter you went up right now for the Falcons.
Oh, definitely. And she definitely has some power. She has some speed. I mean, this could be a Grand Slam opportunity for BG, which would really slam the door shut on this game.
Falcon offense has been hanging around 7th, 8th best in the MAC. Currently, they're 267 batting average, 9th best in the MAC after some struggles against NIU kind of brought that down. But it will definitely be going back up after a great offensive performance in this game.
Well, yeah, when you have 3 homers in one inning, that certainly does help.
That one's going to be called strike. So Matthews down 0-2 in the count. This is a Falcon team that they hit 228 as a team last year, which was nearly 20 points lower than any other team in the MAC. They had under double-digit home runs the entire season, but that one fouled back by Matthews. Falcons already 21 home runs on the year. Of course, 12 of those courtesy of Addie Martin.
Yeah, Addie Martin has just been the glue that holds this team together. I mean, she is just a dominant player in a lot of respects and really, really excellent at getting this team ahead.
Drop third. Kendall is going to head to first. She'll be out, but the run will score. Hannah Hunt will bring the 8th run across the plate, so the Falcons up 8-0. Productive strikeout for Matthews.
Yeah, and this is good for the Falcons to be ahead. This is actually pretty amazing. When the Falcons are trailing after the first inning, their record's only 2-10. So being ahead is definitely a good thing for Bowling Green.
Yeah, with this 8-run lead, it's going to be tough for Western Michigan to come back. And remember, we've still got a second game coming up after this one, game 2 between BG and Western. First pitch will be roughly 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. We'll have that, of course, right here on Falcon Radio. Casey Vizzini going to get out of this jam. Allowed 1 earned run, but Falcons are threatening a bit more runners on second and third and 2 outs. Hannah Massaro steps up to the plate. She singled in her last at-bat.
And this is, once again, the Falcons are comfortable, and they're able to just slow down and play their game.
Low and outside. Massaro has really kind of matured as a hitter. Hit a home run in her first career game with the Falcons against USC Upstate all the way in, I believe that was February 7th, opening day, Spartanburg Classic in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Just a 1-1. That one's going to be outside for ball 2. Falcons great at bats here in this inning, really making Casey Vizzini work for everything.
It's actually amazing how many games are played in a softball season, already having played 37 games. Just gives your team a lot of time to grow and change and hopefully mature.
Yeah, scheduling is always interesting with baseball and softball. You have a few weeks where they just don't, Bowling Green didn't play a home game until about mid-March. So they played about a month and a half on the road without a home game. Interesting how that scheduling always works out. It's because of the weather. You don't really play in home games, obviously, in Ohio in February. They were down in South Carolina, Oklahoma, places like that. And then, of course, they got to end the season before the conclusion of the school year, which this year works out well. Robert Morris, the final series, ends weekend of finals week.
Yeah. As a Pittsburgh kid myself, I'm very familiar with Robert Morris. Good school, good hockey school, but not sure how they are in softball.
Game that was supposed to be played this week against Notre Dame Fighting Irish, which got rained out, was also rescheduled for the Thursday before that ending series against Robert Morris. That one's going to be skied over to first base, and that one will be easily made by Riley Chumbley, and Western Michigan ends the inning. The Falcons will score 1. Your score is 8-0 as we head to the 5th inning. You're listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.
BGSU women's golfer Sammy Dulce is Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week. Recently, the sophomore finished second at the Dolores Black Falcon Invitational. She shot a 69 in the final round, the tournament's lowest single round score. Following the match, head coach Aaron Fahey said, Sammy had a great weekend for us. She always shows up and gives us an under par round when we need it. The Florida Park, New Jersey native jumped up 6 places in the standings after her stellar final round. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Welcome back to Messer Field, where the spirits are high as the Falcons lead Western Michigan 8-0. We're going to go around the MAC, talk about some other games happening in the conference on Friday. 4 other games went on across the MAC. Miami beat Ball State, and what is a great series there between 2 of the top teams in the conference. They won that 7-4 in 8 innings. Buffalo took one over NIU. That series is in Buffalo. Central Michigan took game 1 against Kent State 7-3, and OU beat Toledo by a score of 3-2 on Friday.
Great to see Toledo lose in any context.
Today it's 4 other games going on currently. Central leads Kent State 3-1. Miami and Ball State tied 0-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Toledo leads OU in game 2 of that series 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And score all tied up 3-3 between NIU and Buffalo in the top of the 6th. Here, the booth up here as we return back to Messer Field. Morgan Beckham really settled in well. That one's going to be high for ball 2.
Yeah, Morgan Beckham has really had a consistent, very calm game. Like, she gives off a very zen attitude, and that's really translated over to this defense.
Confidence for her has just really built up and up throughout the year, and especially lately, her outings that she's had in the MAC have been very good, and you can see the stuff is there for her. That fastball velocity is maybe the fastest of any pitcher on the Falcons, straight up, and then that off speed, she's really been using it well, learning how to use it here in college. Obviously, from high school to college is a big adjustment for these freshmen, and she's been making it gradually and making it well. That one was ball 4 to Michaela Booth, so runner on first, nobody out. We'll bring up Merrill for the Broncos.
And that's what you love to see. I love how you mentioned the maturation and the adjustment. You really hope that there aren't a lot of transfers next year. You hope this team stays together, because this is a promising sign of a team that's growing together, maturing together. And I think if this team stays together, they could accomplish some great things.
Definitely some players here that may be looking towards the transfer portal at the end of the season. We'll see how things shake out here as we get towards the end of the season. Only 2 more home series for the Falcons in terms of the MAC. After this one is over, they play OU coming up on Tuesday here at Messer Field, and then doubleheader against Miami, Ohio coming up in a couple of weeks. So season definitely winding down and getting towards the second half of MAC play.
But definitely saving the tougher opponents for last. You mentioned Miami of Ohio. Those are going to be some tough games, and these are the proving ground games where you really set yourself up and try to prepare for those bigger opportunities.
Yeah, Miami of Ohio 14-1 in MAC play after winning 4 straight MAC titles. That is the team to be in the conference for sure. And OU, obviously another big powerhouse. They have 2 fantastic aces pitching for them this season. Anna Y is one of them. That one's hit well, and it's going to be in play. Hits right on the foul line out there in left field, and that's going to be in double. Jaden Merrill, and they're going to talk about it. It looks like they called it foul, but they're going to have to go back. That one was right on the line, borderline call there, Kevin.
Yeah, that was definitely like that Madonna song, Pushing My Love to the Borderline. That was a very much on the borderline. Sorry, that was a big 80s, I'm an 80s geek.
Good reference.
Thank you. It was a deep pull.
Yeah, that one was right on the line. Looked like it could probably have gone either way. Here's going to be the 1-1. That one's going to be skied high. Addie Martin is in play, but Kaufman is going to come over and make the play instead, right near the third base line. So Broncos are going to be disappointed as the result of that at-bat is completely different as the call changed.
Yeah, and that would have been the second such play by Addie Martin right near the dugout. She made a great catch there earlier today. That would have been another good one by her.
And Jaden Merrill retired on that one. Still hitless in the game. Riley Chumbley will step up to the plate. First baseman junior, hitting .213 on the year. Lined out to left in her last at-bat. This could be swinging. It looks like it hit off of her in the swing. That one went into play. We'll see what the call is here. This is a very interesting situation. She swung, but it hit off of her and hit into fair play. So she's standing on first base right now.
Western Michigan coach fired up.
Yeah, after the call on the foul ball, which their base coach and head coach Marley Wilson wanted, she won't be happy that this one is potentially not going to be called in Broncos' favor. She's there talking with the home plate umpire, Victor Sena. Yeah, and it looks like Chumbley is going to have to return to hit again. She probably would have reached base if that would have stood, but she'll return to the plate after that one is called back. So 0-2 count with one out. Runner stays on first. Riley Chumbley takes the 1-1 high and inside. Nearly hit her on the hands. And we'll go to a 2-2 count.
Yeah, that was a bizarre play. I can see why, if you're Western Michigan, you'd be upset about that result. Very strange things happen in softball sometimes.
That's why you play the games. You never know what's going to happen. That one swung on and missed. Strike three. Beckham puts down Chumbley.
Wow. And Morgan Beckham taking her face mask off and celebrating that play. That was a big strikeout there by Beckham.
First strikeout on the day for the freshman starting pitcher. 2 outs left here in the fifth.
Analyzing her play sheet.
Caitlin Tighe steps up to bat. It's going to be left to her. The softball run rule 8 after 5.
Yeah, that would be a big deal for BG to end this game with the run rule, because not only do you finish the game early, but you get momentum going into the next game. You sort of demoralize the other team.
1-0 is fouled back by Tighe. 1-1 is the count. Score is 8-0. Falcons still have another game to play after this, but definitely a great result for them in this first one.
For sure, for sure. But not over yet.
Well, here's the 1-1. Fouled back for a 1-2 count. Falcons do end up earning this victory. It'll be the 14th on the year. Remember, the Falcons only earned 6 all year last year, so already more than doubled their win total from 2024. And this will be the 6th conference win, which would double their MAC win total from last year as well of 3.
Wow. Yeah, truly, you hate to say abysmal, but truly an abysmal year last year. Great to see the improvement.
Much of the credit goes to head coach Michelle Gardner, who's really just changed the culture of this team and brought this fight and this confidence that this team plays with, especially at home, into their game.
And I got to say, the Bowling Green community really comes out and supports this team. You see people here with their families, with their dogs, coming out supporting.
That's going to be a ground ball to Addie Martin at third, and she will make the play. And the Falcons earn their 6th conference win of the year. 8-0 in 5 innings as the mercy rule is put into effect. Bowling Green takes this one in Game 1 of the Saturday doubleheader.
And the Falcons really showed no mercy with how they conducted this game. Great game start to finish. 3 homers on the day. And this is just a fantastic way to start some Saturday softball.
Yeah, you mentioned the 3 home run inning in the bottom of the third. Cameron Kaufman, Scarlett Anderson both getting their first home runs of the season, as the Falcons chanting BGSU to this great crowd that showed up here on this nice day. Stands are packed here at Meserve Field. So Kaufman, Anderson, Matthews, who also had a home run there, in the third inning, as well as a walk. Massaro, Steffes, and Hunt and McKee also had hits in this game. Morgan Beckham earns the complete game, even though it was shortened to 5. 2 hits allowed, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout on 59 pitches on the day for her. Story of the game, of course, Western Michigan defense struggled mightily early on in this one. 6 errors allowed in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, and they cleaned it up later, but it was not enough of a cleanup to reverse course on this game. They had a couple opportunities to score some runs, but just couldn't execute when they needed to.
Yeah, so Falcons earned the win in Game 1. They'll be looking to take the series in the rubber game coming up here in roughly 30 minutes. We'll play some music for you, and we'll be back here for Game 2. Stick around. You are listening to BGSU Softball on Falcon Radio.